I'm watching a video right now. I'm watching this video right now. It was recommended to me. Why I mentioned that video specifically is because I just thought of like a card game. Maybe there is a card game that's like this, but I think it would be kind of cool. Where you have the ability to have a card. And the type of cards that you have depend on the price of it. And it has the TCG element of like trading card game where you have to like pull like blind card packs to get your deck. And then you face people with whatever deck that you have. Sort of like Balatro aesthetic or feel, but with like different types of like cards. Like you can have there is a game that's similar to this where it has like a Go Fish card or a Black of Spades 5 clubs card, or maybe it's like a Yu-Gi-Oh card, just like random cards out of like a blind pack. And sure, more than the damage or type that they have, it's more about the pricing or the value of the card itself that you are fighting against from another one. And there's also on the back end probably a marketing, like I'm thinking like tycoon game where like you have to see like the value of the card over time and then try to sell cards to get more money so you can buy more blind packs as a result. And if you don't have enough money, then how do you get money in the first place? And it's like from like trades of cards, like existing cards that you have, and then you see if that trade can be equivalent to like getting money back or getting a cooler card as a result. And the gameplay is like, I don't even think about the gameplay, but like just the idea, that would be an interesting card game in of itself, like that type of mechanic where I feel like I'm built like Garnet. There, okay. That was it. That's how I'm gonna start my day. I'm also editing my videos. I took a nap. A little bit. I woke up with my mouth like, ugh. But then also my wrist being like, eh. But now it's actually better though. So, because I held a granite slab with my dad and carried it. I'm not that strong. I had a rough start this morning, I'm not gonna lie. I was in the morning, I was editing my videos of November 1st and then November 2nd. And then I could have done my November 3rd. My November 3rd is like pretty short. But my internal mouth was like, and my neck here felt tight. So I didn't want to talk. And from the physical, mental, no, I'm kidding. From the muscle fatigue, that's what I want to say, of carrying a granite countertop slab. I think I just like, I feel like when I press here, like, not the pain, but it's like, the tendons, it feels like. It's like, oh, okay. But it's not in a bad way. I think it's just like from recovery reasons. It's a feeling if you don't wear a glove in the snow, and you put your hand in the snow, and then you take it out, and then you feel like nothing. Obviously it's snow, but then you feel your nerves again when you touch your hands, when your hands more like warmer. Like that pins and needles type of vibe. And that is it. So what will I do today? I will attend lighting. And currently I'm attending media and ethics to talk with my group about stuff. And there's a peanut butter jar on the ground. I'm not gonna go. But I can go. Nice. But also my back could be like a little bit that's crazy. My spine did not break. It's a vibe. It's like, wow, I am built different, really. But no, I feel like the survival aftershock of, wow, I lived through that. You know, like when it's not even like mentally troubling times. I think I'm facing physically troubling times. It's like, wow, I survived carrying that granite countertop slab. If you've never carried a countertop slab that was granite, you should try it sometime. You don't even have to try it. You just have to lift it. It's giving Thor's hammer. I've never grasped the concept of carrying Mjolnir, but my guy, it is like carrying Mjolnir. When my dad was trying to show me, like, okay, we're gonna lift it off the wall, and he took two hands and it was like leaning against it, and he tried to like pull back. He could not. I kid you not. So, and it was like the height of like here or like lower. It was a small one. There was a bigger one, obviously, that had to take 4 people to carry. So you do that. Maybe like 4 muscular men, okay, or women. But I'm gonna go. Also, never eat a gyro. If it's even so tempting, never eat a gyro. It caps my mouth of some sort. Or take out the things that make the gyro in your mouth bad on you. Also, I've been really into Flesh and Blood. Not like Flesh and Blood, but the card game Flesh and Blood. That has been popping up on my feed after watching Pup does magic, and then it's like, oh no, Flesh and Blood. I'm like, wow, this is kind of crazy. So I'm gonna go now. It's chilly. My mouth, inner gums, my body. Okay, my like trapezes. They're like, they're like, hey guys. Now I can move my hand, so that's like lifting it is jarring. I also got a hot dog at a hot dog truck. It's called the Base Hit, and this is what it is. I'm gonna taste it. It is like a hot dog with chips on it, and the onions are light. So I'd say it's a 8 or 9 out of 10. I would eat it many more again. Oh no, my water. Okay, what did I do in media ethics? Well, it was just me, Camilla, and Alice. Corinna was not there. She slept through her alarm, which is fine. We all do that sometimes. But essentially, what I will be doing is food exportation and food housing crisis. What? Oh my gosh, please, please, please. Thank you. And I might get like something else. I don't know. Is there a Taco Bell nearby? Is there a Taco Bell nearby that I want to get? But yeah, that was it. We were quiet, and then, you know, Alice can be a talker. She's great. She's great at starting conversation. Like, I was like, when I entered the room and I just saw them two, I'm like, hey, and I was about to say hey, but then I'm like, my energy just dropped, like, so I was like, it was like, I don't know, like, it was so different than what you're seeing right now. I feel like I save 10% or 15% of my energy for here. But then, yeah, it worked. I was definitely the quietest one. And we only had a lot of resources. That was cool. And then I was working on that as well. All I did was just format the slides to some extent, because my brain was going at a bit rate where, not even a bit rate, but like in a processing speed where I'm like, my first thing I need to categorize when doing something like this is to make sure that everything's covered. So my questions were like, oh, can we organize the resources that we're putting on here so we know which ones we've accounted for? And then on the slides, it's like, hey, let me just like make slides for each specific one. And then also offer the idea that, hey, should we be assigned specific slides so that way we can like focus on one, particularly what we're assigned to, and then people can add on to it or remove it if it's wrong or right. And then, you know, that's just how it is. I think as well, like, I wasn't the one like upfrontly at the beginning like sharing like what resources I found. that's the vibe I'm saying. I'm like, I only said later on once I understood like, okay, we need these slides. Okay, I have food exportation. Yeah. No. Yeah. But I hate, okay, two things. This is not on them. This is more on me. I hate the fact that I nerf myself when it comes to like a palate thing in my mouth and then my body function out. Like, what is that feeling when you exercise very hard for the first time in your life and then you come back the next day and then you feel all the energy drain out of you? That's what I feel right now. And I'm like, how do you overcome that? You know? How? So you can do things. I don't know. Or I've tried, but I have failed to do so. I might get something to eat. It's like, what? You already got a hot dog. I might get something extra to eat. I have lighting, and all I'm gonna do is just like do sporadic stuff and then take screenshots with nothing too big with you. But I'm gonna continue editing my video. I say that every time. I'm like, I'm gonna edit my videos, which is a cool thing. It's a good thing. And I don't know. Also, Alice caught me off guard with like one of those things where I was, because she said, so how was everyone's like day? It's like, and I said, okay. And then she's like, okay? And then I'm like, well, I had to carry like a granite countertop. So that was my day. And I say, because I'm fixing, like, my parents are fixing the kitchen. And then she says, like, wow, I feel like you said that like last year. And in my head, I was thinking of the meme like, It's like she was accusing me, and I'm like, I felt like I was lying, but I wasn't even lying to her. I was like, Yeah, I literally moved a granite surface top. And you can see it, not see it, but I talk about it on my previous day video. And then I'm talking about it now. So it is very relevant. And you know, it's just a vibe. Okay, I'm gonna go get something to eat. Notably, the Taco Bell near me is still in construction. That's why I did not. Well, instead, I went to Hmart and got a bubble tea drink. And then, what caught my eye is this. Which, I might try. Not gonna lie, it's that type of vibe right now. I want a creamy mushroom pasta. Instant ramen sounds. You're like, oh, that might be good. I'll have it later though, because my palate be kind of tangy right now. And I don't like that. Yeah, I also looked at the Pokemon thing. One of those machines in there, because there's one there, and I didn't check on it the last time I was there at Hmart. And it was out of stock, which, thank God. I was almost on the rampage of, personally for me, to be like, man, where's that flesh and blood, you know, packs? I could go to Target, but I'm not going to Target. I gotta do my assignments and my videos. That's all that matters to me in my life right now. I'm great. And third is flesh and blood. Like, what do you mean? Okay, so the idea of flesh and blood, from what I've learned, is that you have one main hero card, and that one main hero card, you can put like resources, items onto that card, but you only use that card. You don't have like other cards on the field. So it's kind of cool. And it seems like a lot of people say it's a very hard learning curve to learn initially, because everything's very established and you have to have like a really good goated like starter deck, but also it has a balance of, if someone has a really powerful deck, then, you know, the only thing that seems like you have the best case scenario for is like having a skill, not like a skill, but like having the experience of playing the game, which is like, okay, that's cool. And then I think about my card game, and I think about One for All, that event art card where you have to pick one card to face against the other card. And I'm like, that's just me, that's just my thing. But it's not like my thing, obviously, but it's like, maybe Flesh and Blood has been out longer than my card game, which I have not looked into. I've just been recommended videos of like, look at Flesh and Blood card game. And it has a hot lady on it. Like, wow, look at this TCG. I'm like, thank you. Click, click, click. Or hot male. It's like, oh, click, click, click. You know, represent. But it's just that type of vibe that I'm like, wow, I like a TCG. I also have been slightly getting into the idea of the solo D&D campaign. And honestly, how do you do that, right? If you're not as creatively inept into doing things, it's almost like a choose your own adventure story type of book. And I think, how do you establish that from the ground up, right? I think for me, the devil's advocate in me is like, oh, you could use like character AI, right? Or like AI dungeon in the beginning of, before character AI was a thing, or a big thing. There's AI dungeon, which you were able to craft RPG-like stories and events, and it would be generated by like a chatbot, which would like tell that story of whatever you're going to do. Makes sense. But now you have like character AI where it's more like chatbots, like, oh, relationship wise, talk to your favorite characters. Like, those are the type of things, and like the world building aspect of things. you can make a D&D sort of campaign like thing, but I don't think it's like then they'll be able to make it. But no, like that's the devil advocate of me when it comes to if you're a person who's not very creative or good at storytelling, how do you do it? But also, the devil advocate of me, I hate AI. I hate it. What is the alternative? Well, you got to do the hard work then. Use your brain to craft a story. And I think for me, I think it would be a very interesting exercise to have a value system in which when you ask questions, things will curate. But I think a part of it, what is hard enough to make the story, but to make a story in which you don't know what's going to happen next. But not like saying you have roadblock, but like you're engaged in the story, but you yourself don't know the half of like the motives that people have in the world that you're building. You're exploring the world as you go with that. And I think I would like to like engage that part of me. It's like, oh, okay, cool. And also keep in mind the information of other things that have happened and transpired. That's also a thing. And also, I'm not gonna lie, like, AI has hallucinations, which they could also forget. So it's like, again, it's up to you to like remember these things in which you craft and make over time. You know, that mushroom spaghetti is calling my name. And the boba drink, yummy. I just can't let myself be weak. I need to like eat something. I slept and then I woke up and then I slept again. And then I'm like, there's like a certain way to sleep. And then it's like to ease off like the stress of like my neck muscle or something that was like feel like torn or something. That's just me. Now off to lighting if you see me or something else. Like a freaking nap. Okay, I finished this just now. This is good. 9 out of 10. Has little balls in there. And authentic it feels. Hoping that the way can get me through. I don't have to think about it if it was just you. I don't have a clue. Every time I go, I sing a song and know I wouldn't think about it if I really tried to. Every time that I feel I'm so alone. But life, I don't know if I would find my new one. Or maybe it's just something in the way. Maybe just a tight tension that I have to pay. Oh, myself. It's a part of me. Seem to cannot complete. I'm dancing on my own again. I feel like I'm alone. We'll raise a glass, raise a toast. The things I know before me. that I have no control over, but I can feel like it's not over yet, so I truly admit with it, I feel like I want to just know now. Nothing is revelation, 'cause somehow time will pass me by. Don't want to annoy. This is a special moment in time, I feel like, to me, that I'm thinking to myself right now, I don't want to look at the camera. I don't want to record the camera. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm going to lighting though. My messaged me about my ethnic, and it's like, you're fucking news, give your world food, and then I'm like, huh, jarring. And why it feels jarring to me is the fact that it's like, then I become an adult after wow, I guess I like that, that's fine. But I think it's a shock to my body, and I'm like, so that's what I'm thinking right now. So yeah, or just it feels like after that, and then I feel like, what do I amount to? And you're like, whoa, not like amount to things, but amount after the fact, after the aftermath. What do I amount to when it was never right? And I think it's also to be said that to me will be a part of my life. I think that's the biggest scope that I'm thinking about now. For my and being able to go to a different circle, afford it. And I think as of now, it just feels and I'm fine with that, but I don't want it to. Nope. What if I need nothing here? Now Mercer jellyfish. And then you said he hasn't simulated me here for here with him. Always not to be over snare scary murph. But I don't think any human does not have it. Must not be your own work. Not like he doesn't. I think everyone does. Monday for retro.
That works. Yeah, the day for night swing. Did you utilize any of those techniques when you did your time of day exercise? The day for night or?
I did. I also did it with my night scene. I didn't have a directional light.
Hey, if you want to have a directional light in there, again, that's a day for night. It's a technique, you know. Most people are not going to harp on you about the crispness of your shadows over the light well. Get a look that works for you. Okay. We started with Daniel, which means we can almost circle. So, our online friends. Adrian said that one of her hobbies is decorating. She loves visual design, and whenever I feel the need to redo my space or decorate for a holiday, it's my fave. You should come decorate my house because I like having my house decorated for the holidays, but I need to do it every day. One thing I learned last week is that you can adjust the density and scale / closeness of the clouds in the skybox, therefore making it seem more intuitive to the scene, and also the day for night shots are super cool. Are you talking about volumetric clouds, or are you just talking about the scale of the actual skybox? Scale of the skybox. Yeah, and that's one way to do it for sure. Amelia says that she loves sewing, at least when she has enough time. I mean, again, I understand that all hobbies are kind of put on hold while you're at DigiBen. Most recently, you made a quilt for your cat. That's very sweet. It's like small sized. Learned last week about settings in the skybox to increase or decrease the value of brightness. Also using the directional light and skylight together to make a nice light. Yeah. Your skylight and your skybox should match each other because the skylight is technically cast by your skybox, if you think about it. Amelia also said another thing that I learned was surprising to me was the moonlight is actually on the warm side. I think I just assumed it was always neutral. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty close to neutral, but it is, I mean, it's sunlight, right? Because the moon is just a big bounce card. Okay, excellent work, team. Last week, we talked about exterior lighting. We did our time of day and in-class exercise. We looked at how to adjust our skybox material, which is again important for this particular project because this skybox, my skybox? I don't know. There are a lot of different ways to do skyboxes. I think that this, I won't say it's falling out of fashion, because I have used authored skyboxes. No, the last couple projects I worked on have used authored skyboxes. Skyboxes are weird, they fall in kind of like a, between VFX and writing and rendering. They're sort of a lot of different hands have to get involved on that. Unreal does have the nice sky atmosphere. Sky is not matching. Oh, then I was being the gradient that I wanted, where I was like, I want it to be pink on bright. That's another thing. If you Unreal the opportunity, it will do a more realistic version, but it also gives you less. Oh, there. What have I done? Gives you less creative control. Did I crank up my volume that shit so I can see? Nice, there's an orange blob in the back. What is that? What's going on here? Something related to my... the source angle, okay. work with realistic values when we're not, we plan our exposure the way that we have. You also can't, I mean, you can adjust your colors and things, but it happens more in post-process volume than it does in the light settings themselves. So it's really just different ways of looking at how we are. This class we're mostly doing artistically. We're doing it how we want it to suit our eyes. Okay. There are a number of different ways to use skyboxes in Unreal. One of them, actually, let's get our scenes up and do critique before I start to get into. And there was an empty office on the 3rd floor that we were like planning on eventually renting out. So what we did is we had a bunch of us, we need like ambient crowd chatter and a couple of other things. And so what we did is we went up to the 3rd floor and we put a note on the door that said, no. First what happened is we were just like screaming. So we needed some screams for like a portrait scene. And a woman knocks on the door and sticks her head in the room and says, people work here, you know. We're like, yes, we are working, in fact. In fact, this is our job. I know it sounds like we're just screaming, but this is actually critically important work. The other one that we did, so the next day, we put a note on the door that said, we are recording torture scenes today. Please do not call the cops. So, they don't have a sign on their door that says we're recording torture scenes today, which means we're going to write them.
Wah, 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 wah. What the fuck? I forgot about that. What we're gonna do is we're gonna get gas. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. We're all fine. We're all fine and dandy. Maybe I sleep. I sleep there. Kidding. What did I do? Yeah, I need to get gas. Bro said no to gas. Holy moly, I gotta get gas. Oh. Okay, you don't know how serious that is. Jeez. What am I doing to myself, bro? Okay, we gotta go. Damn. It's giving community college commute. Okay, no. What did I gotta keep looking at it. What did I do today? Well, I went to lighting class, and I think upfrontly, dude, my mouth is like when I stretch it, I feel like it's like a scarecrow, like there's strings, like. But mainly put, I think I just have a perception in me, right? And I think this whole day, specifically this day, is like, man, I'm so depressed, I'm so whatever. Like, yeah. just for the reason of just regionally being here. But honestly, when I went to lighting class, it was like, weirdly enough, I was the first one because there's traffic, obviously, so I counted for traffic this time. And she was all like, Morgan's there, and I think she was gonna enter the door, and I saw her. I'm like, okay, there's probably other people. I didn't see anyone else. I entered, and then she was like a gremlin, and she was all like, ha! It's only me and you, Nathaniel. And I'm like, nah! Like, what? Like, no, I was not like, wow. I'm like, whoa, really? I was like, whoa. So it's gonna be me and you here. And then Ben came in, and then she came back. It's like, wait, really? Is it just gonna be me and you, Nathaniel? Oh, okay, no, Ben's here. She funny like that. She goofy like that. But it's that weird perception of, I initially always, really enough, I just like fear. There's like an innate fear in me that I'm like, oh my gosh, she's gonna hate me if I don't get to class. It's not a bad thing. And she's also said before, it's sort of the idea of just show up and then you'll be fine. I think also for my personality wise, I'm pretty fine. Like, but personality wise, I'm pretty fine with who I am as a individual, where I am more like cool tone. Like in these videos, I'm more a little bit ranked up, but ranked up in the sense that POV, me and you in a relationship. You know, it's like you see the more intimate sides of me, where I'm like, I'm talking, talk. But then, even so, like even with like my parents, if they do watch my videos, I remember the last time they watched my videos, they're like, we don't watch it because you talk a lot. But in person, I don't talk as much, and this is why. Like you get the POV of the intrusive thoughts. And you're like, okay, that's great. Maybe that's too much, but also at the same time, I can also put it around myself to be professional in the capacity and talk about stuff professionally if I need to and if I want to. What would I rank today? I would rank today a solid, it's feeling like a C, but I would say it's a low B minus. Yes. But yeah, it's like a B minus, because honestly, at the end of the day, this is what I learned, that all of this, all my mentality right now is stemming just from the idea of like new stuff. Also, Trump passed a bill, so my mom gets to get paid because she's part of like that part of the sector and stuff. It's like, wow, that's kind of cool. Like federal government stuff, I think. I don't know. But it's like, yeah, that's awesome. Great. So it finally ended. It shut down, I think. So it's like a blend of like bad and then good, and then you're like, okay, it's like a B minus. It's like, sure, I have the thoughts, and I think I always just continuously have the thoughts. But it's one of those things like, how do you not just live with it, but come to terms of what it actually is? And it's like, I've showcased it here in this video. I'm like, what is that? What is that menial sadness that if you finish the video and then like just go midway through and like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And then you see at the end, it's like, I'm actually like fine. And I stay authentic with that mindset of like, yes, I'm actually fine. When I would actually be like, so hopefully the Costco gas place is open. If it's not, then I'll record it, and then I will just showcase to you that I might have to live at the Costco place. I sent you Frontier, I'll give it to someone special. Oh, last Christmas, I gave you my heart. Very next day, you turned it away this year. You sent me Frontiers, I'll give it to someone special. Oh, bow now 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 now. Once bitter and twice shy. Tell me, baby, do you recognize me? I wanna hear it wasn't surprising. Last Christmas. Sometimes you get that scare. Sometimes you honestly just be like, you'll be like that, right? And to me, that becomes my priority. So that's what we can learn each day, where, you know, there's always gonna be an issue that arises and you might forget. Like I forgot to get gas. And you can feel like that your whole world might end if you have to sleep here. But then you realize they closed till 10 and your class ended at 9. Thank the Lord. Imagine if my class ended at 10 and then I had to wait. Sucks to suck, I know. But yeah, that was my day today. A lot of worry, and then the biggest worry, gas. Gas. Gotta pick up the gas tonight. Now I'm gonna drive everywhere I want. That's just me. This is the end credits, so I'm getting into the end credits thing where it's like I need like the 20 to 30 seconds. Taco time. Ooh, new setup. I feel like my life has just entered equilibrium. I got a TACOTIME meal after my rage. This is a thank you, Sydney. This is a Baja chicken wrap. I guess. Look how small it is. But I'm fine with that. Because I'm going to eat this. But mainly, I just want to say, TACOTIME doesn't have the console things. You know, that was surprising. It was a woman who was sweeping. And she's like, oh, welcome in. And then she lets the person in the back know. And then it was a guy who came back. It's like, oh, what do you need? It's like, oh, I want this. I'm like, okay. So let me taste it. Shout out to them. Still working. It looks like this. It was giving like fish taco, which I'm like, okay. I've never had taco time before. So, you know, since Taco Bell's not out yet, might as well get the taco time. So let me taste and see. This is what, I don't know why I'm, this is what it looks like. Okay. It's okay. Okay. It's rough on my palate, but this is like a tortilla, like a soft tortilla. And then if I had a salad and I put it around a tortilla. Without my palate feeling like what it is right now, I'll probably say this is a 8 out of 10. But with my palate right now, it feels like a 6 or 7.
I don't holistically love it, but it's something I've never tasted before. It's like if I put a salad, it's not even like a taco, because it's like a chicken wrap. It's not like meat, which is very interesting. Like you have ground beef typically in a taco, but then you have like, this is like chicken and a taco. I never had that before. So I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Video.